Don't tell us what we're going to feel. You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. You give me the Nobel Prize for Rwanda, and if you look at the Congo, you know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing. Do you understand that? You look up and you see windmills all over the place. It's a horrible thing. The whole thing is a con job.
Viewers, good evening. What does it take to become a clown? To become a clown, you don't need a circus or a painted face. Just a potent mix of delusion, spectacle, and an unshakable belief in one's own grandeur is enough. And Donald Trump, the current occupant of the White House, has all of this and more. Trump's presidency is a chaotic performance, viewers, defined by bullying, bluster, and a knack for projecting his flaws onto others. His latest act, threatening India with tariffs over its oil trade with Russia, while accusing it of fueling bloodshed, reveals not only his clownish bravado, but also the staggering hypocrisy of American foreign policy on trade, morality, and more importantly, war. Viewers, Donald Trump thrives on theatrical outrage, casting himself as the world's moral arbiter while wielding tariffs. His recent attack on India's oil imports from Russia is peak Trump. Only Trump can do this. He has accused India of profiting from discounted Russian oil, claiming it doesn't care about how many people are being killed by the Russian war machine. Viewers, this sanctimonious posturing is absurdly detached from reality. Trump's rhetoric is a clown's act, designed to distract from his own contradictions and America's complicity in global conflicts. I will explain how and why. Viewers, Trump's claim that India fuels Russian war machine is a masterclass in hypocrisy. While he vilifies India for buying Russian oil to meet its energy needs, the US continues to import critical minerals like uranium, hexafluoride, palladium, and fertilizers from Russia, even amidst all the sanctions. Former US Ambassador Eric Garcetti admitted in 2024 that the US encouraged India to purchase Russian oil to stabilize global energy markets during the Ukraine conflict. Yet here we have Trump flipping the script, accusing India of enabling violence. Viewers, this is rich coming from a nation that has fueled wars and bloodshed across the globe for decades. From arming Pakistan during the 1971 war, when the US supported a country committing atrocities in Bangladesh, to funding proxy conflicts in the Middle East, and beyond beyond Middle East, Americans and the American deep state, so to say, their hands are far from clean. They have blood on it. The US has supplied weapons to authoritarian regimes, destabilized nations through interventions, and turned a blind eye to civilian casualties when it suits its interests. For Trump to then lecture India on morality and loss of life is as laughable as a terrorist preaching non-violence. It's like China championing democracy or talking about it. Viewers, India's response to Trump's tariff threats and moralizing was swift and uncompromising. The government issued a scathing statement calling Trump's remarks unjustified and unreasonable and exposed the double standards of America. The government highlighted that India's energy policy is driven by national security and the need to provide affordable energy to its people, to our people. It can't be dictated by geopolitical gamesmanship. Viewers, the Indian Army's Eastern Command had a subtle message for Americans. The picture on your screen, it posted this day that year on social media to show US military and its support to Pakistan during the 1971 war. A reminder of America's role in enabling bloodshed when it suited its Cold War agenda. Viewers, this response underscores India's refusal to be bullied. Unlike puppet states that bend to Washington's whims, India is a sovereign power with a clear-eyed view of its interests. India's defiance is a mirror held up to Trump's clownish hypocrisy, reflecting a nation that will not be dictated to. That's all. It's like India saying, shut up, mind your own business, Mr. Trump. But viewers, amid this unified display of national resolve, Rahul Gandhi, the leader of opposition, remains conspicuously silent. Rahul Gandhi's absence from this discourse raises questions about his priorities, because remember how he jumped to endorse Trump's dead economy remark. He said, yes, India is a dead economy. He used it to criticize Modi government. Now Gandhi's silence on India's response to Trump's tariff threats and the charge of enabling bloodshed is glaring. When India is standing up to a global bully, exposing American hypocrisy on trade, on war, Rahul Gandhi has failed to amplify this moment of national pride. His earlier willingness to echo Trump's rhetoric, combined with his current reticence, suggests a troubling pattern. I'm leaving it to you decide what it is. Trump's tariff threats and moral lectures are not an attack on Modi government. They're not. It's an attack on India's trade policies, a test of our sovereignty. By accusing India of fueling Russian war and the war machine, Trump seeks to shame India for making independent economic choices while ignoring America's own trade with Moscow and its history, viewers, of enabling bloodshed. The real spectacle is not Trump's tariffs or his sanctimonious rants, but India's resolute defiance. Viewers, Naya Bharat knows its worth and refuses to be schooled by a clown. The question is, will Rahul Gandhi finally find his voice and join the chorus of national pride, or will he remain a silent spectator in this defining moment?
Decision we take must be slowly based on our national interests. We shouldn't get bullied or distracted by impulsive proclamations of other heads of states.
It is extremely unfortunate that such vile language is being used by the president of the most powerful nation in the world.
यूएस के जो ट्रेड है रशिया के साथ लगातार जारी है, यूरोपियन यूनियन का ट्रेड है लगातार जारी है, चाइना का ट्रेड है लगातार जारी है, तो सिर्फ इंडिया पे ये दोष देना ये कहां तक लाजमी है?
Let's open this up. Sanju Verma, the national spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Dr. Piyush Joshi, spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party. Ravi Srivastava, Professor Monojit Mondal, Dr. Akashdeep Muni. Karan Verma completes this panel. Ravi Srivastava ji, what do you make of the government's response to this clownish bullying behavior by Donald Trump?
Good evening, Pranesh. My first comment is very good. First time, I think you can call me that I am supporting the government, but it's a fact that it's a good reply, and every nation in the world has got a right to ensure its economic, financial sovereignty, and nobody should be bullied like this. If tomorrow, I was just hearing one of your comments, every country in the world is having some kind of a business, I mean European Union and other countries, with Russia. And tomorrow, if in the winter, Russia does not supply the gas via pipeline, the entire Europe will freeze. So that's the situation. US itself is buying a lot of critical material for nuclear and other things.
Ravi Srivastava ji, you know, I must admit that by saying what you have, you've put me in a spot. Debate hi kharab kar diya aapne. If you make sense on the debate, aage badhegi kaise? Then we'll all be on the same page. So let me, Monojit Mondal ko bhi hansi aa rahi hai.
Yet I am still continuing.
नहीं sir, एक मिनट. I am not interrupting you. मैं तो आपको बोलने दूंगा. मैं बस ये बोल रहा हूं Will Rahul Gandhi say what you have said?
I'm saying another 30 seconds only. Sir, with all this international scenario and blackmailing and arm twisting and coercing by Mr. Donald Trump, I'm asking a question to my government. India saved $2.3 billion in last 3 years by buying a cheap crude from Russia. Why the damn thing has not been passed on to the consumer? Why I am paying 100 rupees per liter for a petrol?
रवि श्रीवास्तव जी,
mixing a ethanol of 61 rupees.
मुझे लगता है मैंने तारीफ आपकी पहले कर दी. कोई बात नहीं, it's okay. Dr. Muni, will Rahul Gandhi say what Ravi Srivastav said in the first part of his comment?
See, Pranesh, I don't know what Rahul Gandhi will say. It's his own voice. He can speak for himself. But today, the moot point is that, yes, there is a bully of Donald Trump. But how the Indian government is reacting, how the external affairs spokesperson reacted, and you say it is stern, but it does not seem it. It seems very feeble. Its response shows that a clueless foreign policy of Modi government. No clear counter strategy, no demand for WTO intervention, no threat of proportionate retaliation, no tangible counterplay like tariff schedules, legal action or diplomatic coalition, nothing. And other countries, EU, China, Canada, all responded to Trump tariffs with counter tariffs, legal action at WTO and collective pressure. What has India done? India failed to deter Trump's transactions practices, and we need to call it out on your show. Even India did not use alliances like BRICS, G20, SCO to build pressure. As a result of this cluelessness, the Indian rupee fell near lifetime lows on tariff fears recently, just on 5th of August. Now let's compare reaction of other countries to US tariff versus India.
We'll go there. We'll compare reactions of other countries also. Let's first, deal with what the commentary here, the domestic commentary. Ravi Srivastav says it's a brave stand, bold stand, strongly worded statement. But Dr. Muni is not happy. Professor Mondal, what do you make of this statement?
I think rhetorically it's absolutely okay. But in terms of what my good friend Muni said, I'll go with him. There is time to retaliate. Why don't you impose counter tariffs? Because there are so many goods which are directly coming from United States of America, including, in software businesses. Let's retaliate. You have to understand, Pranesh, for the last 1 week, look at the share market. How it's going down and down just because of the Trump tariff. Why can't we do the same to Trump himself? Let us impose counter tariff. Let us retaliate. And last but not the least,
Professor Mondal, 1 minute, sir, 1 minute. Before you get to the last point, the problem is, it is all very well for you to say, let us retaliate. Let us make Trump pay. At least make him realize that India is a strong country, a strong economy, not a dead economy that Rahul Gandhi believes we are. That will only happen if we speak in one voice. Here you are, refusing to even agree with Ravi Srivastav, who's making sense after a long time. I'm serious. What is right is right. He's saying this is a good step. It's a strongly worded statement by the Ministry of External Affairs. But you see, you expect 1 minute. Professor Mondal, retaliation will only happen if we acknowledge what the problem is. The problem is politics here in our country. This is not about BJP or Congress. Trump doesn't care. He's bullying India, and as proud Indians, we must all, in whatever capacity we can, stand up to the bully Trump. That's all. Now, Dr. Piyush Joshi, many people are saying, like Dr. Muni, that this is not enough, we must do more. Rahul Gandhi hasn't even spoken. He was so quick to react to Trump when he said India is a dead economy.
Well, India is certainly not a dead economy, that's for sure. India is a growing economy, and we have one of the biggest markets across the world. Having said that, I have been reading the reply of the Ministry of External Affairs, and it's a meek reply of a weak government. And let me tell you why it's a meek reply of a weak government. It's very simple. The Trump has been hopping around, all around the globe, insulting our tremendous economy power of this country, right and left. He has been insulting India on all possible world stages. And what is the Prime Minister doing? Why the Prime Minister is so scared in naming Trump, in giving a befitting reply to the President of United States of America? It has to come from the Prime Minister. It has to be very strongly worded. The Prime Minister has to assert.
No, this is not strongly worded. I'm reading from it. Where the United States is concerned, it continues to import from Russia uranium hexafluoride for its nuclear industry, palladium for its EV industry, fertilizers as well as chemicals. In this background, the targeting of India is unjustified and unreasonable. Now, should the Ministry of External Affairs be behaving like Trump? Should they be abusing Trump or using the language that he does? Sanju Verma, your government is not taking a stance which is strong enough to please the opposition. At least Ravi Srivastava is, backing this statement, so you should be happy.
Let me just say, even I was surprised with Ravi Srivastava's statement. That's like a googly, because I thought I will have to, now sharpen the knife in order to rebut him. But aaj inhone sare plans par pani fer diya. Now on a more serious note, I just want to say this. I will take one of the allegations which is also viral on social media, and also what has been mentioned on your panel. Why is it that the Modi government is not reducing petrol and diesel prices when we bought Russian oil at rock bottom prices? Let truth be told, hypocrisy on your panel also needs to be called out. The Modi government reduced excise duty on petrol and diesel by ₹5 and ₹10 per litre respectively in November 2021. All opposition states refused to lower value-added tax, which is levied by state governments, not by the central government. Then the Modi government reduced excise duty on petrol and diesel in May 2022 by ₹8 and ₹6 per litre respectively. Again, opposition ruled states refused to reduce value-added tax. Now let me just say one thing to you very quickly before we move on to the more important point. Today, VAT on petrol and diesel in Tamil Nadu is 34.7%. In Kerala, it is 33.9%. In Telangana, it is 39.2%.
Let's not digress, Sanju Verma. Let's keep it to the statement here and
make one very important point. When we bought S-400 from Russia in 2018, when I say they, I mean Rahul Gandhi, Mamata Banerjee, Stalin, and the entire cabal said S-400 kharidna nahi chahiye. The Modi government refused to buckle under pressure. Rahul Gandhi went all the way knocking on the doors of the Supreme Court. He obviously had a big, nice fat omelette on his face. But Rafale invoked so much of controversy right ahead of a Lok Sabha election in 2019. But Narendra Modi refused to cow down, and thank God for that. Rafale did a stupendous job in Operation Sindoor. Now let's come to the moot point. S. Jaishankar 2 years back said the European Union buys more oil and gas in a single afternoon than India buys in an entire month. Clearly showcasing to the world that if India is buying Russian oil, it's no big deal. And your audience needs to hear this, Pranesh. We buy around 232 million metric tons of crude every year. Basically 4.7 million barrels a day.
Right.
Out of which we buy from Russia only about 2 million barrels a day. Which means from Russia we import around 42.5% of our crude requirements. The rest is a diversified basket. We buy some from Saudi Arabia, we buy some from UAE, we buy some even from Iran,
right,
and a whole host of other countries, including the United States of America. So for anyone to say that Russia is our only partner when it comes to India's import requirements...
No, even if it is, but Sanju Verma, even if Russia is our only partner, why should we be embarrassed or apologetic about it? We have to guard our national interest, our economic interest. Taran Verma, you see, the problem with the opposition's narrative about retaliation, let's retaliate, let's hit them hard, is that just 2 days ago they were saying India is a dead economy. Now those same, the same people, the same ecosystem wants the dead economy to stand up to bully Trump. या तो पहले मान लें कि डेड इकोनॉमी नहीं है.
So, Pranesh, the ignorance in the opposition and on your panel both is profound. I just heard Akashdeep Muni say we should have retaliated. We should have done something at the WTO. He doesn't know that we have slammed retaliatory tariffs against steel and aluminium, and that too at the WTO level. He is not aware of that. And we did it back in 2019 during Trump's first term. We've doubled down on that right now as we speak. But Akashdeep Muni is unaware and he's saying we should do something like this. Imagine. Another Rahul Gandhi fanboy, I would say. Having said that, Pranesh, here it needs to be understood first. Russian oil was never really sanctioned. In fact, back in 2022, in March, the crude oil had crossed $100 per barrel. All the senators at that time were literally requesting for China and India to start buying from Russia in a way. They were giving subtle hints because else the crude oil prices would have jumped up to $200 per barrel. That is how crazy it was getting, because Iraq and Saudi Arabia were the only suppliers. We have done the world a great service, a great favor by actually procuring from Russia. Trump is unaware of that. Trump is grossly ill-informed. That everybody knows, from his party to the opposition to everyone. He doesn't realize that we are the reason why today the crude oil prices are balanced in this world. Having said that, we don't need to be apologetic. And Trump very conveniently, every time he mentions trade deficit, he glosses over the fact that in terms of services, it's the US that is ripping off the world actually. If we get down to, we've just started, if we get down to taxing big tech in a way that we want, Trump can have some serious, he will have a serious pain in the neck. That's the amount of leverage we have for him.
No,
and
of
for
course,
any bully,
I know, I agree with the point that you're making, Karan, but that's for policy makers to do, and it's about policy. All that I want to focus on the panel, because of paucity of time, is the political commentary and the hypocrisy here, the double speak, not just of the United States that I listed out in my introduction, but of the ecosystem / opposition, whatever you want to call them. So let's go back to Ravi Srivastava. Ravi Srivastava ji, राहुल गांधी कहते हैं इंडिया डेड इकोनॉमी है. आप मानते हैं इंडिया डेड इकोनॉमी है? और अगर नहीं है तो राहुल गांधी ने क्यों कहा? और उस दिन जब कहा डेड इकोनॉमी है, ट्रंप को एको किया, उनको रिपीट किया उनके क्लेम्स को, तो आज क्यों चुप है? ये सीधा सवाल है सर.
That day also I had said that it's not a dead economy, it's in coma. It's about to be a dead economy because high taxes, crawling lower GDP, no jobs, no employment, high prices, high taxes, this all makes, and the very low per capita income makes it a coma economy which will be dead very short.
Which is this global agency that you are referring to? कोई global agency जैसे S&P है, Moody's है, कुछ IMF, कोई तो agency होगा? Or is this your own analysis?
In the public domain, you don't have to refer an agency.
Right.
Unemployment, everybody knows in the world.
So when the IMF says India is, poised to grow at this rate, it is a bright spot in the global economy. वो ऐसे ही बोल रहे हैं. The real economist is here on the panel, Ravi Srivastava, right?
And you are jumping on the number 4 economy and all that. I got a different question here.
No, answer my question. Where is Rahul Gandhi in all of this?
Why you are pulling Rahul Gandhi again and again?
I am not pulling, sir. He pulled himself by saying India is a dead economy. And now he is silent today. Dr. Muni says this is not a strongly worded statement. Dr. Muni, I am sure you have the statement. Do you want to rephrase it? I want to see कितना strongly worded आप इसको कर सकते हैं.
चलिए मैं आपको बताता हूँ. Karan Verma was speaking about the aluminium tariffs. I fail to understand his ignorance. Let me tell the facts. In June 2019, the United States removed India from the generalized system of preferences as GSP program. This ended up tariff-free access for India for $5.6 billion worth of Indian exports to US. Unfortunately, India failed to prevent
Dr.
this.
Muni, I am asking you a question on principle, not on policy. 1 minute. You are getting into specifics. Unfortunately, we don't have the time to discuss all of this. I am sure Karan wants to respond, but answer the question, fundamental question. What is the main question here? Trump is trying to bully India. The government has shown them the mirror that please mind your own business. You have a reaction from the Eastern Command. Army is sending a message as subtle as it can get. Where are the perennial doubters?
10 seconds. The government also reacted to the aluminium tariff. What happened? No rollback happened. European Union and Canada reacted and their tariff rollback happened, which Karan Verma doesn't know. But India did not get the GSP rollback benefits under this very Trump regime. It shows India's reaction, which feeble, and Canada, European reaction is
feeble.
stronger.
Sanju Verma.
Thank you. You know, Pranesh, I'm glad you came to me, and I'm sorry, you were about to go to Karan, but I'm sure he won't mind if I eat into his time a little bit. This is my area, this is my domain expertise, and I want to, through your show, tell you that last week the Prime Minister, from his official handle PMO, tweeted my article where I wrote at great length, Indian economy is not dead, it is alive and kicking. And I'll tell you why in 30 seconds. We are the world's 4th largest economy overall in GDP terms. We are the world's 8th largest tourist economy. We are the world's 6th largest, in terms of stock market capitalization. We have the world's 4th largest forex reserves. We have the world's 7th largest gold reserves. We have the world's 3rd largest startup ecosystem. We are the world's 4th largest renewable energy producer. We are the world's 3rd largest solar energy producer. We are the world's 2nd largest producer of steel. We are the world's 2nd largest producer of cement. We are the world's 2nd largest smartphone market. We are the world's 3rd largest producer of cars. We are the world's 2nd largest producer of motorcycles. We are the world's 1st and the biggest producer of three-wheelers. And I can go on and on. And by the way, in terms of PPP, our GDP is $16 trillion, accounting for 9.7% of global GDP. And come 2026 December, India will be the world's 3rd largest economy, overtaking Germany. And किसी ने यहाँ stock market की बात की थी from the lows of 2020. Even after the fall in the Sensex today, the Sensex is up 237% with a market capitalization of over 445 lakh crore. इसलिए economy पर भाषण कभी मत देना.
Economy पे नहीं, ma'am. There is no area that is untouched by your genius. You were saying this is your area. There is no area which is untouched by a genius. So I don't think what is left for Karan to speak now. You were talking about PPP. Ravi Srivastava, Dr. Muni, there are others who only understand CCP. I don't know, what to say. But Karan, respond to Dr. Muni quickly. Let's talk about the broader terms of the debate.
नहीं, देखिए, No. Pranesh, जाकी रही भावना जैसी, प्रभु मूरत देखी तिन तैसी. Just because Rahul Gandhi का खुद का political career dead है, he sees the economy as dead. Just because he is himself unemployable, he believes people in India are unemployable. But as Sanju ji rightly put out, with a battery of data, barrage of data, I would say, you now know that this is an economy that is vibrant, alive. रवि जी से पूछिए क्या इन्फ्लेशन चल रही है आज की डेट में, इनको कुछ नहीं पता है. 2.1% चल रही है. इनसे पूछिए पीरियोडिक लेबर फोर्स सर्वे के हिसाब से कितनी अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट है, इनको कुछ नहीं पता है. तो जैसे इन लोग का खुद का करियर चल रहा है राहुल गांधी का, ये वैसे चीजों को देख रहे हैं. दैट इज नॉट हाउ इट इज. बट व्हाट इज सैड इज यू अलाइन विद ट्रंप व्हेन इट सीम्स फिट. यू क्रिटिसाइज ट्रंप. जहां इंडिया के अगेंस्ट पोजिशन हो, आपका ट्रंप जो है बेस्ट बडी हो जाता है. आप कहते हो ही इज राइट. The moment Trump says कि left side ये है, liberal side ये है, pseudo liberalism है, you go against Trump. So where are you actually? The one place where you are is the anti-industrial stance that you've taken. You are against the country. अगर country firm stance लेगी, आप कहोगे ऐसा क्यों किया. अगर नहीं firm stance लेगी, diplomatic चलेगी, किसी भी पासे आपको चैन नहीं है, और यही आपकी प्रॉब्लम है.
Which is why you are on the wrong side. Which is why the reactions that we heard before the debate, the reactions are all from opposition parties and their leaders. You have Manish Tiwari, Priyanka Chaturvedi, and Karti Chidambaram. All three from opposition ranks. And Dr. Joshi also believes that Indian economy is not dead. But unfortunately, the leader of opposition, Rahul Gandhi, thinks we are a dead economy. Dr. Joshi.
Pranesh, very simple, the question is, when will the Prime Minister find his voice? You know, we all know the facts. They are all out in the domain. India is a strong economy. We all know that. It has been like that after the wonder reforms of 1991-92 came, and then Manmohan Singh brought them. So the question is, when will the Prime Minister give a befitting reply to his own dear friend, as he has claimed so many times, that this President of the United States of America is a very, very dear friend of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi. This friend has been insulting the might of Indian economy, the might of India as a country on all possible world stages, and the Prime Minister is silent on that. That is what
Dr. Joshi, you know, just no, 1 minute. Put your hand on your heart. 1 minute. This parallel commentary, two-track thing can't go on. आप या तो डिसाइड कर लीजिए दोस्त हैं या बोलिए सरेंडर नहीं किया. Do you surrender before your friends? You don't. No, 1 minute. No, this is serious. Because for months now, forget the number of iterations by Donald Trump, opposition leaders across party lines, with some exceptions, have been saying, India surrendered, Modi surrendered. What is going on?
We are in total agreement with you that this is a serious issue.
Then if you are in agreement, then let's call out, then let's call out the people who refuse to believe facts. How is India a dead economy? First address that. How dare someone say that India is a dead economy?
Or not, Baba. How can I decide whether Donald Trump is Prime Minister's friend? The Prime Minister keeps on saying that he is his friend.
No, but you can decide what is right, what is not.
मिनिस्टर ही बोलते हैं ना कि उनके अभिन्न मित्र है डोनाल्ड ट्रम्प. हमने तो नहीं बोला ना.
नहीं, अभिन्न मित्र. देखिए, डिप्लोमेसी में ये कोई स्कूल की तो दोस्ती है नहीं. डिप्लोमेसी में तो है. आपके भी तो दोस्त थे राहुल गांधी, जिन्होंने केजरीवाल को करप्ट बोल दिया. अभी तो साथ में फोटो खिंचवा रहे थे आप. इंडिया अलायंस में आप तो एक ही साथ थे ना, हैंड इन हैंड. यू रिमेंबर द फोटोज. क्या हो गया दोस्ती का? नो, आई एम जस्ट सेइंग, क्या हो गया दोस्ती का? राहुल गांधी एंड केजरीवाल, they were best friends. Then comes the Delhi elections. Then the knives are out. Now you still, believe this narrative. Dost the, ye hai, wo hai. You know how foreign policy plays out. Trump is doing certain things to play to his gallery. वो वहां पे appease कर रहे अपने लोगों को. Look at the number of things he's gone back on, U-turns, flip-flops, whatever you want to call it. He could not even handle Elon Musk. How will he, settle wars? And then he wants a Nobel Peace. But forget all of that. I just want you to take a position because, like I said, as right-thinking individuals, we must call out the fakery at least. If anyone says India is a dead economy, whatever party, whatever ideology, you should stand up and say, no, we are not dead, you're wrong. How many leaders, no, 1 minute, sir, how many people in the opposition have called this out? That's my problem. Professor Mondal?
You see, the simple point, 3 months back, the same kind of attitude was not shown by the government when Mr. Trump claimed again and again that it was he who brokered peace between Pakistan and India. The government of India did not say a word when we were hyphenated with a terrorist country like Pakistan. Now you are talking about rhetoric. Even now I say, please put...
Professor Mondal, let me give you an example. 1 minute. Let's just quickly put out the Eastern Command's tweet. The year is 71. The BJP is not in power. What were the Americans doing, sir? Was Pakistan a sane country then? The Americans were arming a rogue nation, fully knowing what the Pakistanis were up to in East Pakistan.
Well, God, follow your strong rhetoric with tariff on Amazon, Google, and Walmart.
What is the rhetoric here? It's a reality of geopolitics. The US will do what it has to do. We have to do the right thing.
Rhetoric. You have come up only with a rhetoric but not retaliation. Put tariffs on Amazon, put tariffs on Google, put tariffs on Walmart. They are having free access in Indian market.
Okay, Sanju Verma, put tariffs on all these companies.
Pranesh, I don't think Prime Minister Narendra Modi needs to learn diplomacy from anybody on the panel, with no offense to anyone. Let's be very clear that Two very important trade deals have happened in the last couple of years under the aegis of Prime Minister Modi. One with Australia, the FTA that we signed in 2022. One, the FTA that we signed with the ASEAN nations in 2022. And just a few days back, we signed the free trade agreement with the United Kingdom, which will basically ensure that our bilateral trade with the UK, which is currently at $58 billion, goes up to more than $110 billion come 2030. और जो लोग कहते हैं कि इंडिया इज अ डेड इकोनॉमी, मैं इनको एक बात बता दूं प्रणेश, especially for the Rahul Gandhi variety, if he is watching your show. 2005 overall poverty rate in India 37.2%, 2012 overall poverty rate 21.9%, and last year under Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the poverty rate went down to 2.3%. More than 25 crore people have been uplifted from multi-dimensional poverty, and last month we added 20 lakh people to the EPFO. Last year we added 4.7 crore jobs. Last 11 years we added 17.9 crore jobs, which translates into a job growth of 36%. And last but not the least, let me tell you, Italy, Spain, UK, Japan, France, Germany, all growing at barely 0.5%.
Ravi Srivastava is saying something. Karan, I'm coming to you. Ji sir, bataiye.
What I want to tell is that I have spent half of my life in the oil industry.
So sir, oil se nikal jaiye ab. Come to the surface. Are you still in oil? You see you're submerged in crude oil. You have to come out and see the facts. Karan Verma gave some facts. Can you counter him on facts, on numbers?
Listen to BJP spokesperson as if they are writing a Hanuman Chalisa. And with us you are always
एग्जाम्पल देखिए आपके.
every moment.
अब एग्जाम्पल में भी हनुमान चालीसा है.
No. What is there?
No, there is no problem. I'll tell you the problem. The problem is, 1 minute. Ravi Srivastava, if you are saying something, don't become like Rahul Gandhi. 2,000 kilometers, 4,000 kilometers, square kilometers, whatever. At least give one number. Tell me, how is Karan Verma wrong? Or how is Sanju Verma wrong on facts? On what basis are you saying the Indian economy is in coma? Bataiye, Dr. Ravi Srivastava.
I'm saying it. High taxes, I said it, high taxes, unemployment, and in the trade situation with the other economies, they are very badly placed. Nobody is helping India.
High taxes, Indian economy right now is in coma. When was the Indian economy not in coma? When was it thriving? Bataiye sir, give me the time period please.
What time period you want?
कोमा में कब नहीं थे हम? कोमा से पहले वाला टाइम पीरियड बता दीजिए. कोमा में कब गए?
कोमा में तो अभी आए हैं हम.
कब? अभी मतलब आफ्टर 2014 when Prime Minister Modi came to office.
तब से कोमा में ही चल रहे हैं. लूट रही है पब्लिक को लूट रहे हैं आप.
सर कौन सा टैक्स अभी नया लग गया है जिससे लूट हो रही है और पहले नहीं था? बता दीजिए.
ए कॉमन मैन इज सफरिंग. एक आदमी का मिडिल क्लास का अगर हॉस्पिटल जाता है तो लौट के आके बिलो पॉवर्टी लाइन हो जाता है. दैट्स द सिचुएशन. यू आर ओनली वर्किंग फॉर द कॉर्पोरेट.
ओके. करण वर्मा, कॉर्पोरेट की सरकार है. दिस इज अंबानी, अडानी, द सेम रेटरिक इज बैक. मैंने सवाल पूछा है, ट्राई टू रीजन विथ हिम. स्पेसिफिक्स बता दीजिए, ईयर बता दीजिए. नहीं है जवाब.
मैं एक कोटेशन आपको बता रहा हूं प्रणेश, 2015 के एंड की है ये. इंडिया इज द प्लेस टू बी. इट इज थ्राइविंग इकोनॉमी नाउ अंडर मोदी. यू नो हुज वर्ड्स आर दिस? Donald Trump, the businessman Donald Trump, who says that now I'll be launching Trump Towers in India because the Indian economy under Modi is now on an upswing. He repeats that in 2020 when he comes here to Gujarat. He repeats that thing, that the Indian economy is doing so well under Modi. तो इनका ट्रंप को आंसर ट्रंप नहीं दे रखा है. आप जरा समझो इस बात को. How good the Indian economy is, the number of Trump towers that are coming in here and Trump coming here again and again shows that. Number one, this is Trump, this entire rhetoric, Pranesh, of Trump is falling flat, called out by American intellectuals. मतलब राहुल गांधी को नहीं पता, Jordan Peterson and all these people are saying Trump is going to pay a very heavy price for messing up with India in this way. This is a big market. हमें नहीं करना है. This is a market on the rise. at 6.5%.
You know, when the sense prevails, whether or not sense prevails, let's shift our attention